The redraft selection shows are complete. All of the redraft regions draft this weekend. And tonight we are hosting the QB54 Arm and Leg League draft selection show for both conferences. All this and more in 20 seconds. Hey fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast sponsored by Football, Darts, and Fantasy Sports Alliance. How is everybody on this Wednesday, August 26th? Happy birthday to my sister. She's turning 43 today. Also, it is Women's Equality Day. Hello to the equal opportunity world. Jenna, how are you? Tell Taylor thank you for the TikTok video that I woke up to this morning. That was pretty awesome. I hope you all are strapped in. We're going to have a long one tonight. Like I said in the intro, not only are we going to do a draft selection show recap, we are doing two more draft selection shows tonight for the QB54 Arm and Leg League out of both conferences. The outfit tonight gives you a little bit of hint at what we're getting into tonight. That is why we're starting a little early tonight. But before we get into it, we'd like to thank our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dart board. Unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. Ross, I'm glad you are here. I'm excited to show everybody the playoff format that you came up with for the Arm and Leg League. It is going to be towards the end of the show, so give you a little foreshadowing right now. The playoff system that Ross put together for the Arm and Leg League, who we have collabed on this together, is super awesome. I have a screenshot of what it's going to look like. Fitting jersey. I thought so. I was really trying to figure out what I was going to wear for the show tonight, and then everybody will see here pretty soon why I ended up putting this on tonight. But yeah, the playoff system that we're going to use for this is awesome. And in fact, this is kind of going to be our test bed with the Arm and Leg League to see if we don't adopt something like this for the redraft league next year as well. MJ says, great jersey as well. I appreciate it. Damien says, let's get to the dice. Damien, we're going to have to wait a little bit before we get to the dice because we're going to get through all of the redraft stuff first. We're going to kind of do a recap of all of that stuff. But before we do that, Empty Wagon. They say an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Listen to our partners, Josh, Eric, and Brad, talk fantasy football on their podcast, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. They are your one-stop shop for fantasy football information and news. The guys talk rankings and projections with a whole lot of comedy. This week's show was called NFC South Breakdown. This means the guys have now done 6 out of the 8 divisions in the NFL. The last 2 divisions they have are the 2 East divisions from both the AFC and the NFC. If you haven't listened to any of their breakdown shows, now is your time to catch up. Go listen to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find them on Anchor at anchor.fm and subscribe to their show. Also, follow them on all of their social media. They can be found at Empty Wagon FF. The red and white is clean. Appreciate that, Eric. Hey, since you're here, what did you think about the logo? Let me know. Also, I showed it to MJ and a few other people, and they said they think the only thing that's missing from it is some color. You let me know if you want to throw some color into it. Let me know what you think about the logo. As I look at both of them together when I send it to you here in the messenger, I think maybe the black outline could be a little bit thicker now if we're trying to match that original inspiration, but let me know what you think about it, man. Ross is glad to be part of a league without much drama. I don't know what happened, Ross, after I deleted the app and got off of there, but it was getting pretty heated, which is why I left. If you want to fill me in later, let me know. But yeah, that was you always said maybe you had some knuckleheads over there, and you weren't exactly wrong. Hey, speaking of social media and Empty Wagon, make sure you go and follow us on all of our social media as well. Look at that. I almost got it right this time. There's our website. That's the Facebook page you're on right now. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. That's our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel picked up 5 more users since the last time we were on. I think through the draft selection shows. We're up to 60 now. So if you're still not following us and you're here right now, please go over to YouTube. Type in Fantasy Sports Alliance and subscribe to us, please. It's the one with the 60 members on it, 60 subscribers. Also, if you're already not following us on the Instagram or the Twitter, please go out and do that as well. The numbers are coming along. I can't even believe how well we're doing there. We're like 530 something on Instagram. We're just a few shy of 500 on Facebook. And then my goal on Twitter, since we hardly ever use it, is to make sure that we had 200 by the end of this football season. And heck, I think we're going to be able to hit 300 before the end of the football season. So please go out and follow and appreciate you all. Let's see, when's the DSS? How deep into it? So what we're going to do, here's kind of the order of what we're going to do everything. We're going to do a parade of what the recaps look like from this weekend's draft selection shows for the Redraft League. So everybody knows what that looks like, especially for those who are out there that are watching that aren't really part of the FSA that might be interested in see what the heck is going on. We're going to give you the rundown of your draft times for Saturday and Sunday, and then we're going to get into the draft selection show, Chris. So maybe another couple more minutes. A splash of red maybe on the logo. We can do that, Eric. So here's what's going to happen. So what you saw there on the logo with the word mark is like the whole thing, right? But what I see your logo being just on the website as the avatar is just the gear with the player in it. So the words will be gone. So if you want to do red right there on the gear, I think that would probably look pretty sharp. Maybe even red in the center where the player is at might look good as well. So I could play around with that for you and let you know. Hey, so draft selection shows, if you were all there for it, what a crazy time, especially with the South Atlantic Dragons one when we had a little bit of hiccup there. But in case you were wondering what the draft results look like, here is the first draft that we did noon on Saturday, and this is the New England Phoenix. Some of you, this might be the first time that you're seeing the logos for your region and the word marks that we created for it as well. So I'm hoping you all get a chance to, if you haven't seen it before, you're kind of oohing and ahhing at these things right now. So number 1 pick out of there is going to be Eric Talbot with Average Joe's. It says Gymnasium. I think everybody knows where that probably came from, but his team name is Average Joe's. And then going on, we got the Assassins, the 1863 Ramblers, Groot, Beantown Brawlers, the Mighty Majorlin. I think I said it right this time. The Chris Betts, Maniacs, Superfan, Chef Boyar Louie. I'll say it, the Phoenix Rage, because Randy did make me add Phoenix to the front of his name this year, and then the Werebears, and that's your 1 through 12 for the Phoenix region. Let's see, Damien says, you guys know the deal. If you're not listening to Empty Wagon Podcast, you're doing fantasy wrong. Absolutely true. They are great. They are my definite go-to on the Monday and Tuesday drive-in, depending on how long the show is and how late I'm running that morning. So there is the New England Phoenix. Let's talk about the Appalachian Black Bears. So Evil Empire ended up getting the number 1 pick. Ship Huggers number 2. Mayberry Union High number 3. Fantasy Football Team number 4. Green Arrows 5. Mermen number 6. The Sin City Kitties number 7. Mad Scientists number 8. The Meyer Wolf, let me make sure I say that right. Meyer Wolf number 9, the Nihilist number 10, Christie's Husband, team to still be named by John Ronquillo number 11, and the Angry Vipers number 12. That number 3 slot badge looks good. Yeah, so, you must be talking about the last one when we were in the 1863 Ramblers one. Yeah, it's not a bad looking badge. We kind of put that one together last year. That was a lot of fun. It was definitely different. All right, let's talk about the Great Lakes order. So the Mongoose number 1 there, Damian Gratz with Garbage Points number 2, Ohio Racers number 3, the Ohio River Monsters number 4, Golden Boys number 5, Cavalry 6, TDs and Beer number 7, Creek Dogs number 8, Turd Ferguson number 9, Killers number 10, Watermelon Hawks number 11, and number 12, Music City Miracles. 8 slot is looking weak. Oh, I don't know who was in the 8. We must be talking about the last screen. Oh, by the way, in case you're not, if you haven't noticed yet, make sure you're checking out those logos there in the middle too, the hydras and the word mark that's there. So, yeah, you think Christy Sussman should keep that team name? Well, if you ask Bill the Third, and I don't know if he's out there tonight or not, he would absolutely say the same thing. Keep Christy's husband there is the name of the team for sure. Let's see. Number 8, Mad Scientist must have been on the last screen is what I'm guessing. So let's get into the South Atlantic Dragons one that was so crazy. So number 1 goes to the Monarchs. Number 2 goes to Naughty Dogs. E-Thugs number 3. Georgia She-Devils 4. Maria, we're still looking for a team name, I think, for her. I think we might be settling on just simple the word Lost for number 5. We're not sure yet. Number 6, Kalunga Clan. Number 7, Unicorn Legends. Number 8, Lumiere. Did I say it right? Lumiere? Just Lumiere. No S, no E. Lumiere. The Greenbacks number 9. Beast Mode number 10. Southern Sirens number 11. And Land Sharks number 12. And just so you all know, I'm remembering these team names off the top of my head. Wow. I guess we've been doing this too long. Even though that looks like a Raven there in number 1, the team name is Brady Sits Down to number 1. Number 2 is the Hurricanes Football Club. Number 3, Warriors. Number 4, Vols. Number 5, Rough Riders. Number 6, Labradors. Number 7, Psychedelic Seahorse. Number 8, Crab Island Hookers. Number 9, Miami Inferno. Number 10, 99 Problems. Number 11, Nature Coast Colonials. And number 12, Rum Runners. And then let's get to the last one. The still to be named West. I think we had a suggestion during the draft selection show of maybe being the West Wyverns or Western Wyverns, which I like a lot. We just have to go out and find the logo for it. So West, let me know how you feel about that. So you don't see any logos are in the middle of the page. At the moment, we got Koalas number 1, the Recast number 2, Factory of Sadness number 3 for Brad Buckner. I think we put the finish line on that logo last night. I'm still waiting for Brad to give me a thumbs up for sure. We got the Wildcats number 4, the Calloused Cowboys number 5, Lunatics number 6, West Coast Avengers, which I also know that we have a logo for. We just got to get it up on there, is number 7. The Front Range Tiburones is number 8. Underdogs number 9. Gadget Guys, I think we're pretty close to having that one finished for Eric at number 10. White Ponies at number 11. And Lady Recasts at number 12. Gadget Guy's idea was Inspector Gadget. Yes, we absolutely did that, Chris. In fact, after we get done here, I'll send it to you all in the GroupMe chat so you can see what it looks like. Yes, that was, in fact, the inspiration for the logo, and then you'll see what we came up with. All right, so let's go back up here. So for you all that are out there that are watching it right now, and you know what? We're going to go back through this again real quick. I'm going to put all of the logos back up here so you all know. So the New England region is drafting on Saturday, August 29th at 10 o'clock a.m. East Coast time. And I'm going to give you a little screenshot here in a second of where I would like all of you to go who has never used MFL before for the draft, so you can see what that looks like and where you should be going. So they will be on Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. East Coast time. The Appalachian region, the Black Bears, are going to be on Saturday as well at 2 p.m. East Coast time. 4 hours in between each one. Next one is going to be the Great Lakes Hydras. They will be drafting at 6 p.m. in the evening, East Coast time, on Saturday the 29th. Then the next 3 are all on Sunday, August 30th. South Atlantic Dragons are up first at 10 a.m. East Coast time. Next one is the Gulf Coast Serpents. They are at 2 p.m. East Coast time. And finally, the West is at 6 p.m. East Coast time. All of those on the 30th. Let's see. Wild West, Wildcats, Gadget Guys. Okay, lock in on the Wyverns. Looks great. Gadget Guys shaping up. Okay. Hey, I'm thinking a lot of people are liking the Wyverns. It'll be a temporary logo for this year anyways. Let me see if I can't go out and find something good for you guys for a logo, and then we'll go with that. So let me show you. Let me make sure that this shares correctly like I want it to. So this is what you're going to be looking at when you're on the web page as an owner of a page, right? Where you want to go to see and make sure that you're in the right spot for the draft and kind of get familiar with it is you're going to go under 4 owners right there, and then you're going to click on draft right there, all right? When you click on it, another screen is going to pop up, and I'm going to show you what that looks like here. right there. That screen is going to pop up, and this is what Draft Central looks like for you. Your list of teams are over here on the left-hand side. This is the draft order. As the players get picked, they fill in here. For myself, my roster will end up showing here. You can click on this button right here to see anybody else's roster if you would like. The chat will come up right here, so anybody who might be on the outside that wants to know what's going on can chat as well. I do believe, and it's been a little bit since I've done this, you click on a player and then hit the draft button, and I think it gives you a "Are you sure?" Or you're going to click on this, hit draft, and it moves into a window in the middle, and you say, "Are you sure?" And then it adds over here. But before you do anything, make sure you go in and try it out so you are not surprised on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you log in a couple minutes early as well so we don't have any issues. Now, something that you're going to see here, and I just want everybody to see this. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I want to make sure everybody's aware. I'm about to turn on the commissioner settings for myself. You see this warning right up here at the top that says at least 5 franchises have not logged in yet. 2 ways to look at that. All of these people that are down here on the far right-hand side with these number of days on it have not logged in yet, even though they might have username and passwords. But there are a couple of them who still have not logged in for my invite, and they are here by check mark, and that's Lucy James and Delaney Talbot, which is not right. That's Delona Balthrop. That's her alter ego is Delaney Talbot. But those are the 2 for this league that have not signed up yet. So just wanted, if you're out there watching and you're on either one of those lists, make sure that you please go out and sign up. Definitely, absolutely sign up by Saturday before the draft, and I'll be hitting you up Thursday, Friday, to make sure that you do that. I'll email, text message, call you on the phone, however I need to get a hold of you guys. Let's see. Chris says, I need a fast draft, guys. I have to travel to get a COVID test 3 hours after we start. Jason, how are you? Don't forget to change the conversation voice. Oh, yeah. So there's a couple different voices that pop up on that chat window. This is what Chris is referencing. I muted my side of it. Because it just keeps saying it's your turn to draft over and over and over again, even though we're still 3 days away from drafting. So I'm not sure why it would do that. Louis says, I'm thinking of becoming FSA World Champion this year. Well, don't think about it. Just do it. All right, y'all. So that pretty much ends the recap portion and everything that I wanted to show you on that. We are going to get into the QB54 Arm and Leg League draft selections. We have 2 conferences for this year. In fact, you know what? Now that we can still do a screen share, let me show you what we have done. In case you all didn't know, here's another little thing up here. I know I showed this a couple weeks ago. If you're on any of the MFL FSA pages and you come to this links area over here on the right-hand side and you go to League Links, it's going to give you a drop down of all of the different league links that fall under the FSA umbrella. Let's click over here on the QB54 Arm and Leg League because that's what we're about to talk about. For the people that are not in the QB54 Arm and Leg League who have not seen this page before, here is what it looks like. The reason that we have decided to do this in 2 conferences, and the reason that we have decided to call these conferences AFC and NFC, is because these are what we're using for the avatars this year. Just this simplistic jersey of either a quarterback or a kicker, since those are the only positions that you draft in this league. And the ladies and gentlemen that decided to be in this league got to pick what avatar they wanted to represent them. And it just so happened to work out that we had an even distro of 12 AFC teams and 12 NFC teams. Now, something you're going to see here are 2 Seattle Seahawk jerseys. One on this, I think his first name was Don Bitterlick. I have to look at that up. I don't remember if that's what his first name was or not. This is back when Seattle was in the AFC, which is why he's on this side. And also, I have to thank both Bill III and Bill Jr. for taking 2 AFC teams for us to make sure that this balance did stay for us. And then on the NFC side, you get to see Whitehurst over here, which is when Seattle had switched over to the NFC, which is why you see that there. So here are the avatars for this year. We are the American and National Football Conference, kind of following along with what the NFL does. But you see all of this, and you still probably don't know what QB54 is, and you're trying to figure it all out. Here is a commercial to show you what it's all about.
Play fair, play to win. Play QB54.
All right, so here is the draft board for the QB54 Arm and Leg American Football Conference. Of course, we're going to start with the AFC because that's the hat I got on right now. Going to be doing the draft a little bit different. We're not having the banners or the logos, of course, but we are using the general manager's names here. What we're going to do is everything else is going to function exactly like it did for all of the redraft leagues. I'm going to fold up all 12 of the teams' names and the players' names, and I'm going to put it in the 25th anniversary Walter the Wizard hat. We're going to shake it up. We're going to pull a name out. We're going to roll the 12-sided dice. We're going to put the first team that's up on the board. They will be represented by jerseys, and then same process that we had through all the other ones. And then as soon as we finish the AFC one, we will be doing the NFC one. Let's see, what does QB54 for all your tailgating fun and backyard get-togethers? So I know MJ bought a set. Jonathan Broughton bought a set as well this year. I know that the MWR facility here at Fort Gordon bought 2 sets off of me as well. And then I have my own set. And yes, it's a lot of fun. When we had our little get-together here for the South Atlantic region last year, and we had Sean Purcell come over from the, MJ at the time too, because she was living on the west side of Georgia as well, came in. We got that out and played. Had a good time. MJ brought us some food. Got to watch some football. One of the few and rare wins I had for the year just happened to be against Sean whenever he came in, which I think actually knocked him out of the playoffs last year by me beating him. So I'm finishing folding up these. These little papers are taking a little bit longer than the bigger sheets of paper usually do. We know that this usually takes about 30 minutes, depending on if we get snake eyes or not. So we know that we're probably about 30 minutes away from doing the NFC side then, which will be about 30 minutes as well. And then at the end of all of that, Ross and I are going to introduce to you the playoff system for the QB54 Arm and Leg League. We have a nice screenshot that of what he put together for us in Excel. Super awesome to be able to introduce that to you guys tonight. Like I said, I love the system so much that if it works out well, we might adopt a version of this for the big leagues, for the redraft leagues playoff system next year. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. All right, let's get our first name out of the hat. First name out of the hat is going to be Randy McCarty. Randy McCarty has Kenny Stabler in the old Houston Oilers get up right there. And we are going to throw a 12-sided dice and put Randy in the number 5 spot. Yes, I'm glad you asked that, Damien. So we're doing the show. Damien asked, will the draft be live next week? Yes. Is the draft Saturday or Sunday? Hey, for you, it will be 6 p.m. Saturday for you, Luke. So hit me offline if you want. Yours is, the Great Lakes draft is 6 p.m. on Saturday. And Damien asked, will the draft be live next week? Yes. So all of the drafts are going to happen for the redraft leagues on Saturday and Sunday. However, we're going to be back live again next week at 8 o'clock as well, because we are going to host both of the QB54 Arm and Leg League drafts at the same time. We're going to do a shared screen right here, and we're going to talk through the piece on the show after we do some draft recaps from the redraft leagues. So I'm going to set the time at 8:30, and we will get through and use that 30 minutes to chat all the way up until draft time, because I want to make sure it's locked in on the schedule on MFL for 8:30 for the Arm and Leg League, so everybody knows when to be here. Let's see. Let's roll some action dice. Now that we got Randy on the board. Number 5 means we're going to roll a D12 until a spot fills up, but we have to get a name out of the hat first. That name is going to be Chris Simpson. Chris being represented by Don Bitterlick. Chris, why don't you tell the story, the history of who Don Bitterlick is? Give it the short version. Chris is going into the number 4 spot with the Don Bitterlick jersey. And if you all want to, while Chris is telling his story, go Google. Got a good story out there on Wikipedia. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice is giving us a number 8. Roll a D12 till a spot is filled. Next name out of the hat is Cody Reed, and he is wearing using the Baker Mayfield jersey. He is going to go in the number 6 spot. Let's see, where are you, Cody? Baker Mayfield is right there. We are putting you in the number 6. I don't even know if he was the worst kicker ever for Seattle. He might be the worst kicker in history. Not just for Seattle. You look at his stats. Yeah, 1 kick from a total of 4 and only played 1 game. You're right. That's the right stats. Let's roll some action dice. We got a number 3, which means we're going to pull a team from the board. If we roll a 4, 5, or 6, we're going to pull. If not, going back to the action dice. Action dice number 7, we're going to roll a D12 until a spot opens up. Pull next name out. Next name out is Jonathan B. Jonathan Broughton. We are going to roll this until we get an open spot. Jonathan, we are putting you in the number 3 spot. Jonathan being represented by Brady while he was still in the New England brand. We're putting you in the number 3 spot. Let's go to the action dice. Number 6 means we're going to swap 2 positions with the 2D12. If we roll 3, 4, 5, or 6, we will be moving somebody. We are rolling a 5 and a 1. So Kenny Stabler ends up moving up to the number 1 spot. Randy McCarty, you are now in the number 1 spot. Let's roll the action dice. Number 10 means we're going to roll a D12 and replace a team if the position is already filled. But before we do that, we have to get a team out of the hat to see who's going to replace. He was a 3rd round pick, though. The kicker was what? Yeah, but think about when they were they doing like the common era draft like they do now? Was it 7 rounds and all of that stuff, or was it smaller drafts back then? So that's something to take note of. So we are going to put Eric Talbot on the board. Eric has the Jim Kelly jersey, and we're going to put him in the number 4 spot. And we're going to take Bitterlick off the board, which is Chris Simpson. We're going to hide Bitterlick, and we are going to put Chris's name back in the hat. That way we don't forget that part. Chris, name going back in the hat. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice is number 9, means we are going to swap positions with 2D12. We are going to be swapping the 2 and the 5. Nobody is in either one of those spots. Action dice. Number 11 means we are going to lock a team to the board. If we roll a 1, 3, 4, or 6, that team will be locked to the board. Number 5, and there is nobody in that spot, we're going to roll action dice. Number 7, roll a d12 until a spot is filled. Got to get another name out of the hat. Next name out of the hat is Rusty James. Rusty James is taking Sebastian Janikowski. And what's funny about this is I was working these little templates before we even started putting jerseys to people. I was creating a few of the bigger name quarterbacks like Marino, Montana, Elway, Aikman, Steve Young. And I thought, who would be the one kicker that I should probably do? And I made only Sebastian Janikowski. And I made him only with this guy right here in mind, thinking if he joined the Arm and Leg League, this is the guy I figured he was going to take. When he said he was going to play, he immediately said Janikowski. And I said, that's great because I already have one built. Made it too easy. We are putting Rusty in the number 4 spot. That spot is already filled, so we have to throw again. Putting Janikowski in the number 9 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Number 8 means we're going to roll a d12 and put a team in that position. See who we're pulling out. Pulling out Bill the Third. Bill the Third is using Dan Marino. We're going to roll the dice until we get him a spot. Number 8 is open. So we're going to do Dan Marino for Bill the Third. Let's roll some action dice. So here's what we're going to do for in the interest of time as well tonight. I'm going to make this rule up right now since it hasn't happened yet. Snake Eyes is going to be a locking of a team. All right. Instead of going, I know you all want Snake Eyes really, really bad. You want to see everybody come off the board. But for the sake of time, we are only going to use the lock the team on Snake Eyes tonight. Please don't boo me. Action dice says rolling a 12, which means we are flipping the whole board, which still makes this super fun. 1 becomes 12. 8 becomes 5. 6 becomes 7. 4 and 9 swap. And 3 becomes 10. That just flipped the whole board. Let's roll some action dice. Number 9, it means we're going to swap positions with 2d12. We are going to be swapping the 9 and the 12. We just moved Stabler down to 12 and Kelly down to 9. And they are now switching places. Let's roll action dice. Number 6 means we're going to swap with 2d12. We are swapping the number 8 and the number 4. Janikowski is now moving down to the number 8 spot. The bottom half of the board is getting filled up. Action dice. Number 9, swapping positions again with the D12, 2 D12s. Number 9 and number 9 equals nothing, so we're going to throw the action dice again. Number 7 means we're going to pull a name out of the hat and roll the die until a spot is filled. We've got half the board filled right now. Let's see who we're pulling out next. Brian B., that's me. I'm being represented by Peyton Manning in the Denver Broncos orange. I'm going to go in the number 3 spot. Peyton Manning, right there he is, going in the number 3 spot. Let's roll action dice. Number 3 means we're going to pull a team from the board. If we roll that number is number 4 is currently nobody there. Action dice. Number 3, pull a team from a board. Pull in number 6. Nobody in that spot either. Number 7, roll a d12 until a spot opens up. Got 5 remaining spots. Pulling out Brian Lewis, being represented by the Joe Burrow jersey. I'm going to roll the dice. We are putting him in the number 6 spot. Joe Burrow going to number 6. Roll action dice. Number 10, we're going to roll a d12 and replace the team. If the spot is already filled, let's pull a name out of the hat. Name we're going to pull is MJ Cooley. She's got the Terry Bradshaw jersey. She is going to go into the number 4 spot. There is nobody there. However, she still goes into that spot. There's Terry Bradshaw. 3 spots remaining. Let's roll some action dice. Number 10, we're going to roll a D12 and replace with whoever we pull out of the hat. If we don't roll a 1, 2, or an 11, if we roll a 1, 2, or an 11, they just go into that spot. We are putting Toby up on the board. Toby is going to go into the number 1 spot. It's completely open right now. Toby Keller and the Cam Newton version of the Patriots version of Cam Newton, I should say, moving into the number 1 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Number 6 means we are going to swap positions with 2D12. We are going to be swapping the number 6 and the number 8. That means Burrow is going down to 8. Janikowski is going up to number 6. And roll some action dice. Number 8 means we're going to roll a D12 until one of the spots is filled. We've got a 2 and an 11 left. Could take a while to fill those 2 positions. And we are putting Bill Minot Jr. on the board, who is being represented by Warren Moon. We need to roll a 2 or an 11 to put him on the board. Ooh, almost the 11. There's a 12. Ooh, almost 11. This could take a while. 2 or an 11. Chances are every 12 rolls we should get it right. At least that's what the odds say. Not working that way. Good Lord. There it is, 11. So we're putting Warren Moon on the board. Where did Warren Moon go? Where's Bill Jr. at? Did I forget to put him on the board tonight? I bet you I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I sure did. So Bill is in number 11. I created his icon and put him on the standings, but did not put him in here. Give me just a second. We will get him on the board. Get to see us work live. See what this looks like. There's Warren Moon, big as life. Let's get him on the board in number 11. If you cooperate. There we go. Warren Moon, number 11, on the board. All right, let's roll some action dice. Number 10, roll a D12 and replace a team if the position is filled. Well, there's only one team left in here. We're going to pull it out. It's Chris Simpson back out again. Chris, you might be replacing somebody unless we roll a 2 here. Number 11, after we just got Moon on the board, we're going to put you in his spot instead. Move you down. Move Bill up and out of the way. I'm going to make sure that Bill ends back up in the hat, just in case other people join him. So he is going back in the hat. I'm going to close him out here. And we're going to roll some action dice. Number 5, we're going to roll a D12 until a position opens up, which means we are putting Moon back on the board in the number 2 spot, because we don't want to roll all day to the number 2. It means we have one more roll coming at us to see what it does to the board. Ross says, look at all those 12s. Bradshaw, Stabler, Brady, Kelly. Very interesting. Yeah, a lot of the same number. We got a Newton and a Moon right next to each other. That's pretty cool. Very cool. All right, let's throw these dice. Number 7, that means we'll roll a D12 until the board is full. The board is already full. Somebody, please take a screenshot of this for me so we can hold on to this. Please, please, please. MJ, you got it? All right, I guess we can always come back to this part of the show after it's done. And Toby's got it too. Toby, appreciate it. MJ, appreciate both of you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hide all of these jerseys. And we are going to get ready for the NFC side of the house. And with that, you know we can't ever do anything small. So we got the NFC side ready to go. Let me get Moon off the board as well. We got the NFC side ready to go. And of course, there has to be a wardrobe change if we're changing, swapping from the full-size hat to the visor, now that we got the NFC side up there. And let's get these names folded up and put in the hat. All right, so hey, we got the names folded up in the hat. Same thing that we've been doing before. We're going to shake up the hat, pull out a name. We're going to throw the D12. We're going to put them on the board, and then we're going to start with some action dice. Ross says, Toby, are you going for the free beer? So somebody tell us about the free beer thing with Gardner Minshew. Pretty awesome. And it's good that somebody thought about doing that with the arm and leg league. How awesome would that be if that would fly and works. Lucy James, and I know that she is using the Drew Brees jersey, which is her team is the New Orleans Saints. She is the wife of Rusty James, who is Sebastian Janikowski up in the AFC. We're going to put Lucy on the board in number 1. She is our two-time back-to-back world champion here in FSA. Roll some action dice. Action dice say number 9 means we're going to swap positions with the 2D12. That's only going to happen if we roll a 1. We did roll a 1 and a 3. So even after we just put Lucy and Breeze on the board, we're moving her down to number 3. Back to action dice. Oh, Anthony made it. What's up, brother? What was keeping you from not being able to make it? And we rolled snake eyes, and like we already said at the top of the show, even though I know you all are going to complain about it, we are only going to do locking of the board with snake eyes tonight for interest of time. If we roll a 3, we will lock Lucy. If not, we will roll action dice. Holy crap, are you kidding me? How crazy is that? All right, Lucy is drafting from the number 3 spot with the Drew Brees jersey. She is locked in no matter what happens the rest of the show. She is in number 3. So, Lucy, get your strategy together. Oh, yeah, dinner would definitely keep me away as well. Number 3 would be pulling a team from the board, since she is the only one on the board and she is locked and we cannot pull her. We're going to roll the action dice again. Snake Eyes again. She's the only one on the board. We are not locking. Number 6 means we're going to swap teams. We can't because she's locked. Finally, number 10. We're going to roll a D12 and replace with the team that I pull out of the hat. We can't replace Lucy, so as long as we don't get a 3, somebody is going on the board. All right, Ross is explaining the playoff picture to you all right now. Maria, you're getting ready to go on the board. Maria said she wasn't real sure what players she wanted to represent her, so we ended up doing somebody local for her. She got Matty Ice up there, and we are going to be putting her in the number 8 spot. Let's see what Ross says. Ross says, we have a 5 playoff team per conference. We also want teams to strive for greatness, extra perks for top seeds. I like that. That's a nice little tease. Action dice say, number 5, we're going to roll a D12 until a spot opens up for the next team out of the hat. Do we have a lot of numbers the same on this one? I'm wondering. I don't remember who all is in this one. I know we have a duplicate player on this one with different colored jerseys. Brett is one of those duplicate colors too. Brett ended up with the white Montana jersey, as you can see it right there. Brett, we are going to put you in the number 1 spot for right now. So Montana white goes in the number 1 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Number 8 means we're going to roll a D12 until a position opens up. Ross continues on and says, the 1, 2, and 3 seeds get double chance to try to get into Week 15. We're going to explain more as we go along. Number 8 is going to be Heather. Heather has got Matt Stafford as her jersey for the year. There's Matt right there. Heather, we are going to put you in the number 7 spot with Matt Stafford. Let's roll some action dice. Number 3 means we're going to pull a team from the board only if it's a 1, 7, or 8 because the 3 is locked. The number 3 cannot be pulled from the board. Let's roll some action dice. Number 6 is swap teams' positions with 2D12. We're going to be swapping the 2 and the 6. There is nobody in either one of those positions. Action dice. Number 7 means we're going to roll a D12 and put somebody on the board. And the team we're going to put on the board is Bob. I think Bob has Cunningham as his player. Bob is going to go in the number 11 spot. Bob does, in fact, have Randall Cunningham with the old Green Eagles colors on it. We are putting him in the number 11 spot. Let's roll the action dice. Number 6 means we're going to swap positions with 2D12. We will be swapping the number 12 and the number 5. Nobody is in either position. Action dice. Number 5 is roll a D12. So, so Damien's responding to the Minshew comment earlier. Minshew is sponsored with Bud Light, that if you send them a picture of you drafting Minshew in the first round of your draft, you will get the chance to win a $20 prepaid card. If you win your league with Minshew in your lineup, you win 2 cases of Bud Light a month for 6 months. That is a thing. Jared G. Jared G is going to go on the board in the number 1 spot. It's already filled. This is not a replacement one, so we continue to roll. Number 11 is filled. Number 5 is empty. Jared G has the other Seattle Seahawk jersey. He has Whitehurst on here, and he will be going in the number 5 spot. Action dice. Action dice give us 3. We're going to pull a team from the board. If any of those teams are filled, except for Drew Brees, they will come off the board. Number 10 has nobody in it, so we'll go back to the action dice. Number 3 is pull the team from a board again. Number 1 is coming off the board. So we got Montana up there, but we are pulling Brett's Montana off the board. We're going to hide him and lock him again. And I need to make sure that I put Brett back in the hat. There is Brett going back in the hat. And we're going to roll action dice. Number 5 means we roll a D12 until a spot is opened up. For the 12 of you that are out there right now, I appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you very much. We're almost halfway through. Brett goes in and comes right back out. We're going to put Brett in the number 1 spot where we just pulled him from. Imagine that. For those of you that are enjoying this QB54 arm and leg draft selection show, thank you for sticking around. Number 5 means we are going to roll a D12 and put a team on the board. We are going to put Ross on the board. Ross is what you've been waiting for. Brett Favre is Ross's avatar. We're going to put Ross in. Number 3 is filled and locked. Number 5 has got Charlie Whitehurst in it. Number 3 still locked. Number 7 also filled. Number 9 is open. So Brett Favre is going in the number 9 spot. And we'll roll the action dice. Number 8, we're going to roll the D12. And we're going to fill the spot with whatever team comes out. And that is going to be John. John being represented. John, who are you? You got Steve Young, don't you? That's right. John with the Steve Young jersey. Can't go in number 5. Can't go in number 4, though. John going in there with the Steve Young at number 4. Let's roll some dice. Dice says number 7. We're going to roll a D12 until a spot is filled. We got 4 spots left. 2, 6, 10, and 12. We are going to put Anthony Monet on the board. I'm pretty sure you have Troy Aikman, right? As your quarterback. And we're not putting Troy in number 7. We're not putting him in number 8. Only 2, 6, 10, or 12. 2, 6, 10, or 12. There's 2. So let's put Aikman up in the number 2 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Number 9 means we are going to swap 2 positions with 2D12, and we will be swapping number 6 and number 11. So there's nobody in 6, but there is Cunningham in number 11, which will be moving up to 6, back to the action dice. Number 4 means we're going to move everybody up or down 1 position except for that locked team, based on whether I roll an even or an odd number with the 12-sided die. We roll a number 1, means everybody moves up 1 position. So you got to look at this board linear, and it does flip. Since everybody's moving up 1, number 1 becomes 12, 2 becomes 1, 3 gets skipped over, and 4 becomes 2, 5 becomes 4, 6 becomes 5, 7 becomes 6, 8 becomes 7, 9 becomes 8. And we go back to the action dice, and we have 3 spots left to fill. Number 5 means we're going to roll a d12 until a spot is filled. We've got just 9, 10, and 11 left currently. We are pulling out Sean. Sean ended up using a kicker jersey as well. Morton Anderson from when he was with the Falcons. Number 12 is filled. Number 7 is filled. Number 6 is filled. We need 9, 10, or an 11. Oh, almost the 10. There it is, 10. So let's get Morton Anderson on there. It's not Morton Anderson, is it? Is it Gary Anderson? Which one ended up playing for them? Yeah, it was Morton Anderson, right? Gary Anderson ended up going to Minnesota. Morton Anderson played a long time for the Saints, though, as well. Let's throw some action dice. Snake Eyes, we're going to lock a team to the board. Number 3 is already locked. Let's see if we lock anybody else to the board. We're locking number 12. So that means Brett with the white Montana is already locked into the number 12. Hope you got a good draft strategy from picking from that spot. We've got 2 more spots still to fill. 3 and 12 are currently locked. Number 8, we're going to roll a d12 until those last 2 spots, 9 or 11, are filled. Damien says, every number counts. Here to support FSA any way I can. Can't get enough of this process. Appreciate you, Damien. Ross is continuing on with the way the playoff system is done. He says, every playoff game is an elimination game for a 4 or 5 seed. We'll explain that to you when we get there. Damien G, getting ready to go on the board. Who did you end up having for your Montana on the red? That's our other Montana jersey. So it could take us a while to roll a 9 or an 11. Ooh, almost a 9, 11 and then a 9. Still going. Ooh, that one bounced around a little bit. 9 or an 11. Brutal. 6. 7. I need some water. It's like the 9 and the 11 is untouchable. Which spot do you want? You want 9 or 11? Another 6. There's a 9. All right, let's get that red Montana jersey on the board in number 9. All right, let's roll some action dice. 1 spot left to go. Number 6 means we are going to swap teams with 2d12. We cannot swap 3 or 12. We rolled an 8 and a 6. So Favre ends up moving where Stafford is at. Stafford comes down to number 8. Favre moves up to number 6. Let's roll some action dice. 11 means we're going to lock another team. Let's see who we are locking this time. 3 and 12 already locked. Locking number 2, Steve Young. John Fetty, you are locked in the number 2 spot as well. Still got action dice to throw. Number 6 means we're going to swap teams with 2D12. We cannot swap our locked teams, so 2, 3, and 12 are safe. 10 and 4 are swapping, so Charlie Whitehurst is changing with Morton Anderson. More action dice. Number 8, that means we're going to put the last team that is in the hat on the board in the number 11 spot. That's Cody. Cody has got, if I remember right, Dante Culpepper as his jersey. I'm going to put him on the board. And then we have one more die roll to go to finish up the NFC conference for the QB54 Arm and Leg League Draft Selection Show. We roll a number 6, which means we're going to swap two 12-sided dice with number 10 and number 5. Cunningham's going down. Charlie Whitehurst is going up. And that, folks, is the NFC, National Football Conference, QB54 Arm and Leg League draft order. Like we said, these drafts will be conducted live on the Fanatically Real broadcast next Wednesday. We will start the show early at 8 o'clock, but we will start drafting at 8:30. So we'll get all of our piece out of the way. If we have some extra time, we'll sit here and converse a little bit. We'll hit that 8:30 mark. We'll pull it up. We'll get everybody ready to go. We've got a couple of teams that still have not signed up for the QB54 League or have signed in. So we got to get them to do it. I think it's 2. We'll get them to do that by Saturday, and we'll get them in, all set and ready to go. MJ says she already took a screenshot and sent it. Thank you. That one will stay there. So here is how the QB54 Arm and Leg League playoffs are going to go. Hopefully you all can see this very well. So as Ross said, we're going to take 5 teams to the playoffs. So what's going to happen is there's 12 teams inside each one of the conferences. You're going to play everybody inside your conference one time. When you come out of there, we're going to seed you by record. If there is a tie, then it will go by points. That's all right, Ross. Fill in anything that I might get wrong here or you think needs to have extra information on here. We will seed those teams 1 through 5 based on record and then points, and you can see how they will go on the ladder for the first week. The number 1 team will get a first round bye. 2 will play 3, and 4 will play 5. The loser of the 4-5 game is automatically eliminated. The winner of the 2-3 game will play the number 1 seed in week 13 as they had received the bye in the first round. However, the loser of the 2-3 game will go down right here where it says LA and will play the winner of the 4-5. The winner of that game, which is game D, will play the loser from game C, which was the number 1 seed and whoever was the winner of the 2-3 seed. While that game is going on, the team that has won on the top side of the bracket going into week 14 will receive a bye. If that happens to be the number 1 seeded team, they will be working off of their second bye. Then the winner of game E will play against whoever got the bye in week 14 in game F. The winner of game F from the American Football Conference will play the winner of game F from the National Football Conference. And that is how we will do the playoffs this year. So the better your seed is, the more chances that you get to play. It will take 2 losses to get you eliminated. However, if you happen to be 4 or 5, 1 loss will knock you out. So this is how this would work in the redraft league. If the redraft league regions had 10 teams each, and you played everybody once for 9 weeks, and then started on this same system where we take the top 5 teams, then we would be able to get it down to basically the winners of game F to be the regional champions, just like we do with ours with our 4 teams right now, and then still be able to hold a 3-week playoff bracket for the World Championship if we have 60, 70, or 80 teams, because that gives us 6, 7, or 8 regional champions to play inside of the ladder that will last 3 weeks. Don't forget, if you own a Bucks or Panthers quarterback or kicker in week 13, they have a bye week. Don't tell anybody. They should be checking the schedule themselves. Make sure you're checking that when you're drafting this weekend. Just telling everybody. Does anybody have any questions about this? What do you all think about this playoff system that Ross came up with? I think it's brilliant. It's a little bit of a combination of the way the Australian League sports teams do their playoffs, along with a little bit of a double elimination thing. So the better your seed, the longer you go. And I believe that they do it with 8 teams, I think. And I forget how the seeding is done on that one. But if you go and look it up, I think you can probably Google like Australian football playoff system or something similar to that and go down that rabbit hole and you'll find it. I found it a couple of years ago and thought it was really interesting, but was unable to use it. At least I thought I was going to not be able to use it in FSA with the system that we have. However, now that I've looked at this, and like I said, if we do regions of 10, only play 9 regular season games, and then have leagues of 60, 70, or 80, we would be able to use this same system. So Damian says he likes it. MJ likes it. Chris says it's the best way to do playoffs. It makes sense. Keeps people playing for the high seeding. Yep. NRL playoffs would be easier. There you go. Is that what we need to look up? That's National Rugby League, right? So if you look up NRL playoffs, that's probably where you're going to find it. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed the QB54 arm and leg draft selection show. We will get that draft order posted. Maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, because I am going to rack out really, really quick here, since I've woke up at 3:45 every night or every morning this week. Tomorrow I get to sleep in a little bit, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Please let us know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments below here. I will make sure that we answer them, or reach us out on all of our social media, all the things that you see here across the bottom. Find us on GroupMe as well. If you're not already a part of that, we do a lot of discussions there. Let's see, Damian Scott says it's not a normal bye week for most seasons. I understand, though. Get any advantage you can. Yeah, so the NFL is skipping week 12 and having no byes, and then having 2 teams in week 13, I believe is the way the schedule goes this year. So it's a little odd. We actually had last year before, week 12 only had 2 teams in it. It happened to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams. It was the year that everybody thought the Chiefs and the Rams were going to go against each other in the Super Bowl. Ended up having a lot of playoff implications that worked against us, actually. What we ended up doing that year was we took 4 teams to the playoffs for the regionals, and what we called Pick Your Poison. I think that was also a Ross idea as well, where the number 1 seed got to choose which team they wanted to play against. Didn't mean they necessarily played against the number 4 team. And we had a guy that recognized that the number 2 seed that he could be playing against had a lot of Chiefs and Rams players off due to that odd bye, and decided to play the number 2 seeded team and ended up beating them. So I didn't like the way that turned out. However, there's not a lot of ways to us to get around it this year, unless we were to take a complete week off everybody and not play a week. And we want more football, not less. So we decided against that. So there you are. Check your bye schedule. If you're a long-time fantasy football player, you know that plays into the way you draft and everything. So go check out the bye schedule. Hey, I think that ends the show for the night. Like we said at the very beginning, we do have a YouTube channel. I think this is, nope, that's not it. You don't want to see that. Oh, what did I do? We want that back. I don't know where my YouTube channel thing went that I would normally show how that looks. There we go. YouTube channel. And let's see. Brett says the NRL stole it from the AFL. Brett, you're right. I originally saw it broken down by the AFL. And this is an old AFL too. It's cool. I like the top 3 teams are rewarded. So it definitely rewards somebody for playing well all year. Making sure you keep your lineups in and stuff like that. It allows you to play the playoffs longer and then be able to go over. Remember, we are playing for a set of QB54 chairs to whoever wins this league. That is the big prize at the end of it, donated to us by Mike and Frank Silva, the owners, co-founders of QB54. So appreciate those guys. I actually did invite Mike to come out and watch this tonight. Hopefully he did. I'm going to send him a message after this and tell him that we did do it to go out and watch it. And hopefully they did, him and Frank. And then let them know that we will be back next week for the draft for both of those conferences live. And they can come out for that as well. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Been on here for an hour and 9 minutes. It is time for me to go hit the hay. We will see the first region to draft on Saturday is the New England region at 10 o'clock East Coast time a.m. I will be there to referee all of the drafts. I will be watching. So I will see you there. Make sure you log in early enough so we can get everybody set up. Can't wait. It is draft season, y'all. It is draft weekend. So we will see you on Saturday. Brett, you're welcome. Y'all have a good night.